Jenna. I am here to talk about the beauty of being abstinent. And I have been abstinent now for going on 3 years.
Hey, what's up? This is your girl Taelr'd, and you are now listening to A Dose of Tea, a place where we say what we mean and mean what we say. I hope you guys enjoy my words. I hope you guys enjoy my advice, because I'm gonna give you the real. So thank you for listening, and let's dive in. This is A Dose of Tea. Okay, I'm nervous. This is my first guest, Jenna. Hey, girl.
Hi.
I'm so excited. Okay, so first, I just want to know, your story, why? Because I thought about being celibate. I felt like I was celibate for a good 9 months once upon a time. But okay, you've been doing this. What's your story?
Okay, so my story is so first of all, let me say my story started because I gave my life to Christ. I know not everybody does it because of, their religion or their walk with Christ, but that's my experience. I knew that I was supposed to be, some people say celibate, some people say abstinent. So abstinent is really the correct term because this just me not going without sex until, God bring my, what they say, Boaz, or my husband. But celibacy is more so like what nuns do. It's like they committed to that. They don't plan on getting married. They don't plan on being in everybody. Like they're completely committed to being Christ. God actually revealed to me when I was with my daughter's father. I was with him for 9 years. The relationship was very toxic. I was very depressed in that relationship. I was very insecure. It was like one of those relationships where I pretty much just let him do whatever he wanted to do, and I was miserable, but I was stuck on how good the sex was. So I stayed in it longer than I should have. And during that time, God revealed to me, I always had a desire to be married. So he told me, this is not your husband. You are wasting your time. You're not happy. You're miserable. So why you?
How did you see that? Did you see it, or was it a thought?
I saw it, but it was at the same time my judgment was clouded because of sex. And it's we have a child. This is my second child, and I'm just okay. I basically was gonna settle and try to make it work with him because I felt oh, who's gonna want me? I have 2 kids now, and I want my kids to grow, or at least one of my kids to grow up in a 2-parent household. So it's I might as well settle with dude and just try to make it work. But at the same time, it was I knew I was just going to be settling in this relationship. I wasn't gonna be completely happy with this dude.
Right.
So I'm just so when I prayed about it, that's when God revealed to me, he's not your husband. You really need to get out of this relationship. I have somebody for you. However, you already know you're gonna have to do it my way. And of course, doing it God's way is you gotta go without doing you. I'm just okay, Lord, eventually I'm gonna gradually get to that point. So I started to where I was able to start going weeks and then start going months without having sex with him, and it started to get worse because he's oh, you ain't having sex with me, you having sex with somebody else. And I'm just no, I'm tired. I'm honestly tired because at this point it was the less we stopped having sex, or the less we were having sex, the more we started to argue and we started to clash really, really bad. And that for me was very toxic and just depressing because it's I'm doing what I didn't want to do. I experienced that as a kid, and so now I'm doing this in front of my daughter, and we're just arguing, crazy arguments, throwing things and slamming doors and all that other stuff in front of my daughter. So I'm just this is not for me. Eventually, I ended up, and it's crazy because I ended up meeting somebody else. I met him through somebody I was cool with at the time, and I thought he was really, really cute. And it was different for me because usually I don't approach anybody. Like, I'm usually the one to get approached, so I approached dude and was like, well, not necessarily approach him, but I told him, the person that knew him, I thought he was cute and everything. And she kind of explained, like, well, he got a situation. She was like, but I know you got a situation, whatever. And it was like, okay. And I ended up, like, talking to him, having a few conversations with him. I'm like, oh, he seems like he's really cool, whatever. And I ended up, you know, having sex with him. And it was like, for me, it was different because I never, like, just instantly jumped to, like, wanting to have sex with somebody.
Right.
And so it was like, come to find out, like, God revealed to me that everything happened for a reason. As quickly as, like, me and him, you know, had sex, I ended up finding out, like, that I was pregnant. I got pregnant, and dude's attitude kind of changed. And so that was, like, a turn off for me. And it was like, once, you know, we made the decision to have an abortion, everything kind of just went downhill from there. And I thought we both, like, said, like, oh, we're going to continue on doing this little situation. But it was just like, you know, like, I was like, you know, that's not about to happen. Like, I didn't pull you out of one situation just to get you into another situation that's probably going to be toxic and not for you. So it was like a complete downhill spiral. Like, I went through a bit of a storm after I had the abortion. I actually ended up getting fired from my job that I had for like 3 years. It was just crazy. Like, friends that I had been cool with for years were like walking away from me. Like, you know, like you doing things that we don't agree with, and this and that. And I'm just like what is going on? And so that was around the time when my car had got repossessed and everything. And so I'm like, Lord, what is going on? Like, am I being punished for what I did? Like, what is going on? And so that's when God was like, no, I'm getting you to the place where I need you to be, actually. I told you that this is what I have for you. I don't agree with what you're doing. But at the same time, all of this, like, they say all things work for the good of those who love the Lord. It's like, all of this is going to work out for your good. And so I'm just like, okay, I trust you. So once I just gave it over to him, I just realized, like, you know, I ended up getting another car. I ended up getting another job and everything. And I started to understand, like, the reason why I needed to be in the season is because I was actually thought and felt that my validation was, like, in who I was sleeping with. Like, I realized, like, I really didn't value myself. I really didn't know my worth or anything like that. Like, I really thought that, oh, I'm cute or I'm beautiful because of who I'm sleeping with. I'm beautiful because I got somebody in my bed every night. I'm beautiful because this dude is trying to talk to me, or whatever the case may be. Like, I thought that was where my worth and my value was. I didn't know and understand, like, that, no, all that should come from within. Like, you shouldn't feel valued just because of who you having sex with, or just because you with a man, or just because he doing something for you. Like, that's not where your worth and your value comes from. That's not where, you know, you should already have love for yourself, and then that person should just be in addition to, you know, basically what you already have or what you already bring to the table. And God also revealed that to me. Like, I can't give you to somebody while you're broken. I can't give you to somebody while you just have. Like they say, like, I heard this pastor say one time, like, 2 halves don't make a whole. You already gotta be whole within yourself before you can get into a relationship or getting even to a marriage with another person. That way you're not depending on that person for your happiness, or for your worth, or for your value, or for you feeling like, oh, I'm this or I'm this person because I'm with this person, or I now, you know, I'm now who I am. I'm now Jenna Rose Lee because I'm married and I got this husband. Like, no, you gotta find out before you step into this marriage, because then that way, if that person walk away and they leave you and you feel like you could feel like you're depressed, but it's like, no, I'm good. With or without you, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be okay.
You're joining into my life.
Right, yeah.
I feel that, yeah. You said that so dang.
Yeah.
And like just hearing everything, I'm just like, God did test you, like, and like I'm sorry that, you know, I lost the baby, but I know he did that to show you, like, you wanna raise another one and be dealing with another headache, and no. So and like I know some people frown upon it, all that stuff, but we still have a choice, and the choice you made, I understand why you made it, because like just being a mom now too, and just dealing with your own emotions, but having to deal with somebody else's emotions and they run to you all the time, it's heavy. And you don't want to deal with that, and now you gotta think about still yourself, and then now a whole nother person with another girl.
And now I look at the blessing in it, because it's like all of that happened right before the pandemic. So I'm just like, I couldn't have imagined being in a pandemic,
stuck in the house with a whole nother child, a whole newborn.
Yes, and dealing with everything that I was dealing with, like, Lord, like, yeah, it was a blessing at the same time, and that's not to say that, you know, God is okay with that, but I feel like, again, everything happens for a reason, and I definitely see the reason why that had to happen, because it was like, yeah, I would have went crazy, and especially because for a while, like, with my 6-year-old, you know, and the daycares and everything closing, her dad was actually able to step in and kind of help with, you know, childcare and keeping her everything. And I'm just like, and then I would have had another kid as well in the equation, and I'm just like, okay.
Especially if he was acting shitty, and then you would have had to ask your daughter's father to watch him, and he would have had a problem. Especially when giving him that, like, you the baby, asking me to watch it. That would have been a headache in itself.
Yes, exactly.
What are the boundaries you keep to stay focused and strong with your decision?
Actually, the boundaries that I have is I don't deal with anybody right now. So, it has not been a struggle for me, because I'm choosing to not. And I don't know, eventually I probably will, but right now I've decided to just be by myself completely. Like, I don't even entertain anybody. Like, a lot of times when dudes talk to me and when they ask me out, I tell them I'm already in a relationship, which I feel like I am, because I'm in a relationship with Jesus. So it's like, I'm myself. So I don't have to set any boundaries. But I think once I get to that point, that place, like, I'm already finding it maybe a little bit hard, because a lot of dudes won't understand, like, what you mean we can't have sex. So it's just gonna be strictly just public outings, dating, you know, out somewhere, not going to the house to Netflix and chill or any of that.
I feel like the guy that he has for you, he gonna look past all that. He gonna be like, I don't care, I still want to take you out.
Exactly.
I still want, you know, like, you know, he gonna understand that, because I feel what you're saying. Like, when I was at that point when I took a break, like, I was juggling a guy that I cared about, which I didn't like how he was treating me. I didn't feel respected. I wanted that validation. Like, I didn't feel validated if I wasn't in a situation where we're committed, we're together. Like, that's me. Like, I just want, I don't know if I want to get married, but I guess because I want whoever I'm with, I want it to be a forever thing. Like, I never had that, and I want it.
Right.
So that's going to actually put a ring on your hand. Is going to understand, like, okay, like, she want me to be serious. Like, she not giving me herself. Like, he wants to do whatever he can to get to you and be validated to you, but also you want him to also love himself and love what he does, but he wants to bring you into his life just like you want him to be in yours. Like, Like, I love that. That's deep.
Yeah.
That's that deep.
Yeah.
That's gonna, like, nigga, when the storm comes, I need to know that you gonna help me build the shelter. I feel that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm looking forward to, like, just being able to build something solid. Solid. Like, a lot of these guys, like, whether it's in my generation or the generations to come, it's like they don't understand that. Like, you want, a lot of these girls aren't about, I understand a lot of females don't require much, but then you have some who do require, you know, that solid foundation. They want that, you know, to know that, you know, if you're riding with me, we're riding in this together. Like, we both know what we want from each other. We're not about any games. If we're making this up for everything, then we need to be building in each level. And then also, when it comes to sex, we gotta understand that sex is not everything. Sex is not it. When we get older, or what happens to when we come to a place where we can't have sex, then we gotta be able to, something else has to sustain us. Something else has to keep us, like our friendship, our bond, our relationship, and just us being able to enjoy each other's company or be around each other without having to have sex. Because if we come to a point where, you know, we can't have sex, God forbid if something happened and, you know, that's not a factor anymore, then it's just like some people will just be sitting there like, well, what else do we have? And that's not what I like. That's not for me. I want to be able to chill with you or just lay up with you just because we like being in each other's presence. Not just because, oh, we enjoy having sex and that's the only thing we have. Like, no, you gotta have something else to build your, like, again, a foundation. Like, are we building a business? Are we building a brand? Like, building our family, making sure our family is good. Like, all of that comes into play. So.
Yeah, I feel like one thing that I look forward to is, it's like, I never traveled with somebody. I never really opened up to the point where like me, I'm the type of person, I don't mind traveling. I want to go on different adventures while we out of town. Like, I never done that with anybody, and I feel like I want to experience that. Like, I do want that friendship, because even me just being when I finally got introduced to sex when I was 17, and I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, okay, this is how it feels, and I just wanted that itch. Like, I just wanted to do it. But then at a certain time, it was just like looking at the fact that nobody's respecting me, and then realizing, no, I wasn't respecting myself. And I really questioned myself, like, if I can't even respect myself, how can a man respect me? And I'm just like, I started beating myself up a little bit about it. Like, I didn't care after a while, because I never had nothing solid. So it was just like, I don't know. A part of me wish I never slipped. I wish I never slipped off my celibacy, because the last time I did it, before I got into the journey of having a kid, well, meeting, you know, my boyfriend, and then having a kid and whatever, I was celibate for like a good 9 months. I wasn't having sex with anybody. I just got out of a weird situation with this guy I was just sleeping with, and it was just like, I just was done. I was done. Like, I was trying to avoid that itch. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, it was just like, I always wanted, like, I felt powerful when I had sex. Like, give me some head, give me this, give me that, or something. But
and I've heard that before. That's crazy. I've heard that before. Like,
yes.
For some women, it's, you know, a power thing. It's you know, that's powerful for me. And honestly, I felt that way too. Like, I felt if somebody was telling me like how you know, how good I was, or, you know, and the people I was sleeping with, like, again, that's part of what gave me validation. Like, oh yeah, he said I'm good, so that must mean I'm good, you know. And it's just like, no, that's not all you have to offer. Like, it's more than that. And I've heard, you know, some women say that they have been abstinent or celibate because of that, just kind of taking a break, because they felt that, you they were just giving themselves away too much, like, no, I know there has to be more than this. I know there has to be more than just, sex is like, sex is not the only thing that I have to offer. There's I'm a wonderful woman, and I know I have more to give than just, my vajayjay. So let me kind of step back and just,
realize my
take
worth.
a look at myself, my worth, my value, and not
just accepting. I don't know. I don't want to say accepting less. Like, I mean, I'm not saying everybody could just walk up on the carpet now, but I'm just saying, like, when it was that feeling of you see him and he approach you and he's yours at that night or that moment or whatever. It's that feeling of like, I got your ass. Like, but at the end of the day, like you said, like, when you really think about it, one thing I always heard growing up is our body is a temple.
Yes.
I never really I understood the term, but I never really understood that term, like, because I never really looked at it like that. Like, I mean, yes, my body is a temple. Nobody can just walk up in there. It's like a house. Like, okay, but at the same time, like, I should praise it too, because, of course, that's what you do at a temple. I should praise my body. I shouldn't let anybody just tell me whatever they want to just to step. Like, I gotta be more protective of me, because at the same time, like, you having sex with somebody, y'all, that vibe, y'all intertwining with each other. Like, it's just too much. Like,
it's the soul tie. So the term, our bodies it's actually our bodies are the Lord's temple, because when we accept Christ, he comes and dwells. We have the Holy Spirit in us.
Right.
So it's like, when we giving ourselves to somebody else, like, we actually letting that person invade not just our space but God's space as well.
Wow.
And so like, when somebody explained it to me and they broke it down to me, I was just like, ooh.
No, I like
that. I'm just like,
I didn't think about it like that. Like, you invading God. Like,
yeah. So that's where it comes from. It's like, you're not just invading my space, but you're invading God's space as well. You're invading His temple, and especially, and you also gotta be careful, because it's like the spirit too. So it's like, and that's something that I experienced, and that was part of the reason why for period of time when I first started this journey, like, I was a little depressed and I was off, and I felt lost because I had, like, taken on somebody else's spirit, and that spirit was, like, invading me, and I didn't know what was going on. So somebody had to break it down, like, that's a soul tie that you develop from sleeping with that person. Like, you're taking on that person, and a lot of times it's because we're the receivers and the guys are, givers. Like, they may not feel it as much, but we feel it more because we're taking that in. And so it's like, it's coming on us. And so for me, that's something I had to pray off of me. Like, I had to pray that off of me, and it's just like, that's part of the reason why we're supposed to wait, and why God wants us to wait until marriage, because we are entwining our spirits with that person's spirits when we're having sex with them. And I'm just like, ooh, like, I never thought of it that way, but I'm just like, it makes so much sense, because it's like, like, you may feel good for that moment, but then it's like, once that person walk away, you still got that spirit on you. And so now you're sitting in that spirit, and if that person is depressed, or if that person is battling something, now you feeling it. So even though that person is gone, that person is out of your presence, you're still feeling that spirit, and you're still, like, sitting with that, and now you having this attitude, and you can't understand why you having these mood swings and these different, emotions that you're going through and you're dealing with. And I'm just like, okay, so
when I was celibate for this hot second, let me always put that out there. But, like, I feel like I could hear men better too. Like, I feel like without being blinded with sex, I could actually, like, hear what the fuck they were saying. Like this one time, I wasn't like having sex yet, and my ex was talking to me, and it was just like, I forgot what we were talking about, but I could hear him lightweight manipulating me, like, you know, like telling me like, oh yeah, you know, and you looking good today, you know, we should go out, or at least like let me do this, and then I'll come back, and like, nigga, are you finessing me? Then like I'm not really hearing you, like I'm just stuck on you call me beautiful for a hot second. No, we can't do none of that. I gotta do shit today, so you gonna be at the house. That's what the fuck going on, like. You know, like I
like that
heard
discernment, like that discernment, like you can tell, like, yeah, you want some trash,
you want some bullshit,
like
no, I was definitely stuck for a minute, like, oh my god. But like, what's the positive side of you being abstinent? Like, what's been positive about it so far?
So the positives for me is that I say the number one thing is I have peace. I have peace in my mind. I have peace in my spirit. Like, I'm just at peace. Like, I don't have to deal with any drama. I don't have to deal with, you know, figuring out if he lying or not, if he going through the phones and just arguments, trying to figure out if he's really committed and loyal to me, or is he for everybody, you know. I have peace within myself, just knowing that, you know, I'm not just giving it to anybody. I'm not giving myself away to anybody who does not deserve me, who doesn't deserve to be in my presence now. Just being a whole person, knowing that, you know, I am valuable. I'm loved. Like, just knowing that we are loved unconditionally by God, and letting that love empower me, and in turn, like, learning to love myself and accept myself, flaws and all, because I have to be able to do that first before I can, like they said, you can't give something you don't have. Right. So if I don't love myself, I can't give that to somebody else. So it's just learning how to love myself and be comfortable in my own skin, my own, you know, my energy, being positive, and then just really working on each and every area of me, because that's another thing, learning that as well, is like, you know, you want a man to have X, Y, and Z, this and that, and this whole list, but it's like, how can you desire that, want that, but you don't have that within yourself? So, and like they say, you attract, you know, you attract what's inside of you. So if you're still like carrying toxic energy and bad energy and stuff like that, you can attract that. So I feel like by me just, you know, being positive and having a positive mindset and positive energy, and just, you know, just being in God's presence, I feel like I will attract that. That's what I want. And then also getting myself together financially as well, and physically. You know, I want somebody that, of course, looks good and they, you know, got themselves together, so I need to have myself together as well. If I want somebody that got good credit, I can't have bad credit, so I gotta, you know, get my credit together and get my stuff together, so that, you know, we can build together. So yeah, just, so for me, that's the positive, like just being a whole person and just attracting what I already bring to the table.
But yeah, to be your better self, you do, to attract good, you need to also be that good. And I feel like that's a lot of things that people miss. Because when you were saying that, I was thinking like, you know, that is true. Like, you want your man to be all of this. Mm-hmm. It's not like you can just move in while, if he has all of that. I mean, you could, but like, I feel like the man respects the woman that was down with him to grow up when he and then to see him doing better and she's right there with him. But at the same time, it's not just about being in the dirt and just hoping he'll get you both out the dirt. You also have to get up off your ass and do that shit too. Like, you gotta help him.
Yeah, and nobody says like he had, you know, like for me, like my man doesn't have to make a whole lot of, like, it's not about money for me. It's not about, you know, do you have yourself fully established for me? It's like, no, what are you working on those things? Are you trying to, like, okay, then we can again help build this together. You don't have to be all the way there, but you have to be going there. Like, you can't just be expecting for me to take on what you're trying to do, you know, and for me to just like completely take over, or oh, we gonna go off your credit, or we gonna do this, or I need you to do this. Like, I'm just giving, and I'm not receiving anything back.
Because if the shoe was on the other foot, you would be like, well, damn, we know we not about to do this all on my credit. Fuck up my credit, no.
Yeah, it has to be just we have to be on the same page. Like, exactly what it is that we're trying to build together. Like, where exactly are we going? Where are you going? What are your goals? Like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to, like, okay, like, all right, let's go from there.
How can we do that?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if everybody's going to be on the same page. Like me, I could see my future if I close my eyes and really think about it and want to manifest it. Like, I just see myself like for one, with a view like this, I want a balcony in somewhere in my house, or at least a porch or something, just because I love this. I love looking out, nice views, whatever. Like, I want to be comfortable. I want to be in a safe place. I mean, I know some people are crazy, but I at least want my son to be able to walk down the street if he want to go chill with his friends, or do this or do that, because I don't want to keep him in the house and always scared that somebody's going to shoot him in the fucking street. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't got time for that.
Yeah.
So, like, I want somebody that's on that same page. Like, we stacking bread, we got to stash so we can not touch that money, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I want somebody on me just like that, but also I got to be on myself.
Yeah.
Is there any negatives about being abstinent?
Honestly, for me, like, it hasn't been. I mean, I really don't. I don't miss sex. I mean, of course, I enjoy having sex, but it's just like, it's not something I really miss, because it's like, I want the whole person. I want the whole package. Like, I don't want, it's not just the, because again, you can pull any dude and have sex with him,
Right.
but it's just like,
You rather
I want
him be
the
the one that's
whole-
gonna stay home.
Yeah, like, I want, you know, and I think that comes from when I was younger. Like, I always wanted that fairy tale, like, oh, my true love. Like, I'm a hopeless romantic.
No,
so it's
my
just
favorite
like,
one is Cinderella and Aladdin. So, you know, that's my movie.
Yes,
And Mulan, but
yeah.
that's just on some strong woman shit.
Yes. But so I've always desired to be married. So it's like, and I think that's what kind of helped me get through the beginning stages of this journey or this season, because it was like, I feel like I'm at an age now where I should be able, it shouldn't be where we have sex and then, okay, you gotta get up and go home, or you gotta get up, you know, we in separate homes or whatever. And I know you can have that without being married, like living and have some, you know, having sex with somebody and then still having them in your bed. But it's just like, that person can walk away at any time, at any moment. Like, I'm ready to build something with somebody again that's outside of just having sex. So it's like, I know when we do have sex, when you do lay down, like, this is like, you're mine. Right. You're mine. You ain't gotta get up and go nowhere. Like, I ain't gotta worry about like
cook breakfast.
Yeah, exactly. We about to go downstairs, have breakfast, and you know, just spend time together. We're planning trips, like all of that, the whole 9 yard. Like, I don't want to just have somebody that I'm just laying down with. So it's just like, and seeing what a lot of people are going through, and just the pain that they're dealing with in just a relationship, something that's not even a marriage, or something that you don't even know if y'all gonna last past a couple of months, and y'all are sitting up here going through it, and I'm just like, you know, I'm cool, I'm good.
Well, what are you?
I'm good.
What are deal breakers? Like, you're not dealing with it at all.
And I think that's because I see a lot of this going on, but crazy baby mamas.
Yeah, I can't deal with that.
Or you just like, and I would say also like a dude that's just, he's content with just not doing anything with his life. I mean, he can be working a job, but at the same time, like, you have no ambition, you have no goals. Because I, in the past situation with my ex, one of the things that I didn't like is, like you said, traveling. He doesn't want to, like, didn't have a desire to go anywhere. Like, we didn't have date nights. We didn't have, he didn't plan anything romantic. Like, we didn't go out of town at all. We were together for years. And we didn't go anywhere or do anything like that. Yeah, those two would be just, you just want to sit home all the time and you just want to stay at home. Like, it's okay to be a homebody and not run the streets, but at the same time, like, let's go out of town. Yeah, let's go to like another city for the weekend or whatever. Just experience somewhere else for a weekend.
Let's go to Disney. Like,
yeah. Something. So that, and then back to first thing I said, the crazy baby mama, like, because I understand me being in my 30s, the guys that I deal with most likely will already have kids. So, is that cut, is how long y'all been split up, like, where's her mental state? Should I say, or like?
Right. I feel like if it comes to that, he should already have that on lock. She should know that y'all done, over with. The only time she should come into my face and say anything to me is if she thinks I'm a threat to her child.
Yeah.
I can understand why you're going crazy, because that, if somebody was then, I would go kick somebody for my son. Oh, it's over with. Ain't no talking. Ain't no talking. But like, that's the only time she should actually say anything to me. And if it came down to that in my situation, like, all I want, for real, I would want her to come to me about her child and pull me to the side, especially if I'm about to be serious with their father. I want you to be woman enough to be like, hey, I don't care what's going on with y'all, whatever, I'm happy for you, but here's how I feel about when it comes to my kids and you being in their life and whatever. Like, I feel like that's the respectful thing to do. Like, that's the only time. But if your baby mama over here like, you my baby daddy, y'all still fucking. And not she crazy and you need to handle her.
Yes. Because dudes, they love to hit you with the, oh, my baby mama crazy. Why is she crazy though?
Because you still digging her.
Okay, well, exactly, let's discuss that. Exactly, why is she crazy? And why is she still acting like this? If y'all been split up for 2 years, then why
guys
is she still
telling me to tell you that's a red flag. That's a red fucking flag. Go abort. No, so we gonna skip them. What would you date somebody that doesn't have a kid?
I would. However, I made the decision not to have any more kids. So if he's okay with not having any more, then cool. I'm cool with it, but I'm done. I don't want any more.
I need one more. But
like I said, I have 2 girls, so I thought about like having a boy. But it's no guarantee that I'm gonna have a boy. That's the thing. So
if it's meant to happen, God gonna make it happen.
I'm gonna say I say that. If it's meant to be, it'll be. But again, it'll be, once we're married, because I don't want to be.
Oh no, I'm definitely also wishing that on you. I hope he's fine. He treats you right. He put a hold on your finger. Yes, and it's real and it's
Yes, like
all of that, girl. Because I remember you telling me this, and I'm sitting here thinking like, What if your daughter's father really is him, but you gotta give him some time? And he was like, no, that is not what it is.
And I think about because everything that we went through, and
but y'all going through the storm. You gotta go through the storm.
That is true. It's true. But he's still not trying to be at that level, should I say. Like he's still comfortable operating in his dysfunction.
Right.
And for me it's like you have to get that kind of work out. If you want to be just period. Not even if it's not with me, if it's with somebody else, you still kind of gotta get that taken care of. Because it's like, and I think it's with a lot of men though, like they don't want to deal with their emotional issues. They don't want to deal with their trauma. They don't want to deal with, their depression, because they feel like, oh, that makes me look weak. Like it's okay for us to deal with it, but they don't really want to deal with it. Like, no, in order for you to be a healthy, functional person in a relationship, you gotta get some of that together. Otherwise, you're gonna keep like going through the same patterns and emotions that you're going through with every person that you deal with, because you haven't dealt with, the darkness within yourself or what you're battling with eternally. Like,
I'm sorry. I was thinking about every word you were saying. Like, sorry, I'm a visual thinker.
I'm not.
Like, and that's true. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, in my situation, I just feel like we're both at that point. Like, I just feel like I need to grow myself because everything just happens so fast, and it's just like I don't regret nothing because everything has also been beautiful. Everything has been crazy. But it's just like some things about it is toxic. Like, it's just like we're working at, some days I feel like we're working at it just because we have to. And I don't want to be with somebody that feels like I'm a priority or I have to act this way because this is just where we are. Like, no, I want you to love me. And I want you to love where you're at. I want us to both feel grateful about where the universe has brought us. So, like, yeah, because that, like, especially with a child, like, this is a union. Like, I'm gonna have to see your ass forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
And, like, this is, like, the family unit is just so important because it's like, it's not even us no more. And that's the thing that I feel like a lot of people ignore, because it's not about us, it's about this whole person and what they gotta see, and we are the two favorite people that this person loves. Like, and I don't want them to feel like there's heat between us. Like, it cannot be heat, because like, I don't want my son to ever feel like he gotta choose over anything when it comes to me or his dad. Like,
and I think, like, honestly, because I've heard from grown children that are like, oh, I can tell my parents really don't love each other. Like, they just here for us. Mm-hmm. Or as soon as the kids get grown, they're getting a divorce, because it's like, okay, well, we raised y'all, we wanted to stay in unit for y'all, but now y'all grown, so we gonna go our separate ways because we were only staying in it for y'all, and that was it. And
that would bring something that confusion, because it's like, so now since I'm grown, y'all just done with the unit,
right?
So are you done with me too? Like, that's kind of fucked up when you think about it like that.
Yeah, but I saw that like within my grandparents, and it was sad, and that's another reason why I'm like, I want that happily, like we old and we still kicking it, we still laughing and joking, with each other, because like in my grandparents, it was like I saw the separation. Like, they didn't really have a relationship with each other, and it was weird to me. And I'm just like, I don't want that. Like, I want us to still be old and we still in the same bed. Right. we still together. Like, you know, you can tell this is my friend. And I've been inspired because I've seen that in older couples, you know, where they have like this one older guy who's like in his 80s and he was still talking about his wife like, yeah, that's my best friend, that's my girl, you know. So I love that, and that's what I look forward. I want to be in something where we have a friendship, and I had that like with my first my ex, and when I got into my second relationship where everything was just toxic and so dysfunctional, it started to make me look back like, well, maybe I should have kind of worked those things out. Because now looking back, like the things that I was kind of tripping on with him and why we broke up was kind of small compared to what I'm dealing with now. Like I would rather have that, because we had that friendship in my first relationship, and it's like I would rather have that friendship and that bond and that connection versus, you know, just having some good sex with somebody, but the rest of the relationship in this situation is just completely toxic and dysfunctional, and we can't even have a conversation. We can't even sit down, and you constantly getting irritated just because I just want to talk and kick it and hang out. Like what? So yeah, because that'll make me feel some type of way, and that'll kind of take me back to that dark place if I'm constantly trying to just chill and hang with you, and you acting like you bothered by me. Like, yeah, that did something to me, because you're making me think like, yeah, no, you really
you're a problem.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm not. Like,
Yeah.
I want to talk to you. No,
Yeah.
you're not a problem.
Yeah, you should want to be in my presence just as much as I want to be yours. So,
like,
yeah.
I know, like, in relationships, I know we get on their nerves and whatever.
Yeah. Sometimes
But at
it's
the
cool.
same time, like, nigga, stop. Like, you know you love me, and if you don't, it is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, I should be the fucking star in the
Right.
dark night for your ass.
Right.
The moon, the sun, and all
Right. Like Beyonce, like, you know I give you life.
Right.
Like, I can give you life.
No, I feel that. Like, I feel like I want date nights. I want all those things with the person that I'm with. I want to feel like you just seen me and it's lights. Like, you don't see nothing else. Like, it's just me, and you want to show it off. And then, like, COVID is kind of weird. Sometimes you can use that as an excuse. But niggas, we could go wear a mask and go to Topgolf right now and go play some golf.
Right.
You know, like,
Right.
something. Damn.
Right. Or we could go for a walk in a park, or you know, go. I know.
Give me a reason to get
Yes.
cute.
Yes.
Damn. Because sometimes I be having my ugly days because I'm always in the house. I'm hiding. So, like, shoot, I'm going to be comfortable. But, you know, sometimes it's just like, I want to go out. I want to try with myself. Like, just being in the mirror. Like, I have no reason to be in the mirror and look at my eyebrows and get myself together. Just, like, give me a reason to feel beautiful. Like, that's, like, I shouldn't say it like that, but that's also, like, that's why you're here. Because I want to look good for you. I want to do everything with you and whatever.
Yeah.
So give me a reason. So like, I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Holding yourself safe until you find that person that actually wants to come into your union and really love you. Like, I respect you.
Yeah.
Shoot, a lot of women need to put themselves in that, because I'm not saying that these men, we shouldn't expect too much out of the men either, because I mean, they going through it, I guess. They not gonna have, unless you like want a sugar daddy and you want like him to have $1 million in the bank right now. But like a realistic relationship, he gonna be down a little bit. He gonna be limping. And like me, I don't have no problem healing that man and, you know, showing him like, okay, I can be that for you. I can help you in a way. I can't do nothing else for you internally, inside, none of that. But outside, I can help you. I can give you advice. I could be that friend.
Yeah.
I can be that for you. Yeah. But in return, I also need you to be that for me. Like, I need you to, if I'm going too far, tell me. If I'm doing too much, let me know. Like, be that. Like,
yeah, and that all goes back to, you know, being comfortable within yourself and being whole within yourself, and just being like, you know, if I can be transparent with you, I want you to be transparent with me.
Exactly.
Like, I want you to tell me, you know, if you're struggling with something. I may not be able to help you with that, but we can work through it and figure out, okay, what's the best option for you? What's the best solution for you? You know, just talking and being, and that's another thing I look forward to, is just, you know, being transparent with each other and being able to share whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're dealing with. Like, let me know, because I should be able to be that ear for you. If you need anything, like, just let me know. If I can't do it for you, then we gonna figure out how to get it done, basically. Like,
I just keep thinking to myself, like, I really wish I took that time to do that. Like, I really do. Because everything you're saying is touching me. Like, it's just like, wow. Because the journey is just in itself, like, even talking to, I'm not going to say her name, put her out there, but you know who I'm talking about. Well, I'll just say this, Toto.
Mm-hmm.
Even hearing her story and just, like, I don't know if it's still 6 years, it's probably more than that now, but, like, when she told me that, I was like, damn, girl, I just had some the other day. But like she holding on, like, girl, I feel.
She honestly inspired me, and that's like, okay.
The girl,
okay,
I mean,
so
the man that get hurt, he about to, he ain't gonna know what it is. Oh my God, but no, yeah, go ahead.
And that's kind of what I look forward to, like, that. It's an exciting thing to me, because it's like, you know, you don't get to be a virgin again, but it's like you get to kind of experience that your wedding night the first time, and people be like, well, what if it's whack? But here's the thing.
That's what I was gonna ask you too. Are you waiting all the way till you married?
Yes, I am.
So you want to be surprised?
I'm gonna wait. Yes, I'm gonna wait until our wedding night will be the first night that we have sex.
Before you get married, do it. Just
you know, it you know,
you gotta at least see it the night before the wedding, just so you can be like, ooh,
you know. I mean, it'll probably be, you know, a thorough investigation before.
I would just say this slap when you get comfortable, like. Oh, okay, I know. I see.
It would definitely be a thorough investigation, you know, before. But here's the thing, like, I feel like for me, I've never had a bad sexual experience. I've heard horror stories, and I'm just like, that hasn't happened to me, you know, like, I haven't, like, that has not happened to me. And so, because I had a couple of guys like, well, are you settling because you had a bad, and I'm like, no, the sex part don't have nothing to do with it. I feel like when you have, this is how you know, I think, if it's gonna be whack. Like, if you don't have chemistry with that person, I feel like you have to have chemistry with that person in order for, you know, it to be good. Like, if I'm wanting you and I'm just like, before we even get there, you already know. I feel
that
like
already puts like
there. Like, I feel like it's like, once it go down, it's going down, because we already feel that with you, and we already got that
and
vibe.
I've been waiting.
Yes, like
it's over with.
And so, like I said, I've heard, you know, testimonies of people who waited until they got married, but it was because they were already, and it wasn't disappointing because they were already attracted to each other. And that's the thing, like, you gotta be attracted to each other. Why would you marry somebody that you not attracted to, or even, you know, physically or sexually attracted to?
But if you do get married to him and it's a little disappointing,
I don't think it will. I think if you have that attraction to it.
I'm just saying, like, no, it ain't. It probably won't. It probably would be just like, damn, wow.
Yeah.
But like, that would be like, whoa, I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
But I feel like that would be more of a rush situation. I'd be the one to sit on his lap.
And I think that's what happens when it comes to people having bad sex too. I think it's like, because you wanted to do it. It was just something to do where, you know, y'all was just chilling, whatever the case may be.
And then it just happened.
Yeah. So I think, especially when this is somebody you're gonna be spend the rest of your life with, you have to like make sure, like this is what for me, especially because I'm waiting this amount of time because I don't know exactly when God is gonna bring my husband. So it's like if I'm waiting, I already know. And like they say, God's best is better than our best. So if I want something and I think that's the best and his best is better than mine, and I'm waiting for who he got, I already know. I know it's gonna be, because they, like my pastor talks about, like God made us sexual. It's, you know, the devil that came in and, you know, twisted it around and perverted it, but we were meant to have sex. So it's like we were just meant to do it in his way. So we're gonna have, you know, we're naturally sexual. So I feel like he's gonna bring me somebody that I'm sexually compatible with. I don't feel like it's gonna be somebody that's whack. I feel like if I settle and I'm trying to hurry up just because I want to be with somebody, that's probably gonna be whack because I'm trying to do it my way. But I feel like if I wait and do it his way, it's gonna be amazing.
No, I respect that. I love it, man. I really hope, well, let me say it, because hope leaves a little bit of doubt. Somebody told me that. Hold on to that now. But I really pray that somebody comes into your life and really gives you what you need. Because, like, I don't know, were you just starting it when we met each other?
I was just.
And the fact you still holding on, like, that's what's up.
I was coming out to my 1 year anniversary year. Yes.
So I'm like, girl. And it's crazy because when you told me that, I was just like, with my pregnant belly, thinking like, damn, I should have held on because I would have been like, me too, girl. Nope, I'm pregnant as fuck. I'm pregnant as fuck. And I think that's crazy because when you even told me the story, even though I don't remember that story too, but hearing it again, like, we would have been, our roles would have been switched, honestly. Because, like, if I did stick to it, being celibate, not talking to nobody and stuff like that, and if you did decide to keep that baby, like, it's just like, because let me tell you how it was having a baby during the pandemic. Felt like jam. It felt like jam. Couldn't even if I wanted to go out and have a drink, I couldn't have a drink. I couldn't go out. Somebody told me to go to the club one time pregnant. I'm like, girl, you fried. I'm not going to the club with this big old belly. You gonna tell me to go home once I walk in the door.
Right.
So no, like, even when he was born, just being in the house and knowing, like, I don't want to go outside because I don't want to get me or my baby sick. That was the worst thought in the back of my head. I was losing my nugget up in here. Like, so no, like, it'd have been too much. I understand everything you were saying, like, because I was depressed and just going through it, girl. Like, I don't know, but it's beautiful for everything that God showed you. Like, he really did take you through a journey and he wants you to see something. I don't know if that is, it's on my heart to tell you that. Like, he really did take you through something to show you something. And just from me hearing it, I really feel like, for when you are going to probably have a son, that's on my heart too. But the guy that's going to come in your life, like he's gonna love you. For real, just keep going. Like, fuck everything. It's gonna be so many distractions. Like, let me tell you, this one guy, and it's crazy because me and him just, like, found each other on social media. Let's just say that. And, like, he was my first test when I said I was gonna be celibate. I was like, guy, I'm gonna be celibate, okay? And then next time I have sex, you could go ahead and just make me pregnant. And I was like, well, even if I slip, at least make him a good man, please. Like, I slipped. He's a good man, though. But, like, Girl, he took me out to the hookah bar. He bought me a drink. Like, it was a vibe. He was so sexy. Oh my. And then, like, he was asking me everything I liked, and I was telling him, like, oh, yeah, I like that old school R&B stuff, you know what I'm saying? Yes. So we went back to my house, smoked a little blunt. Oh, my God. Girl, why the fuck he turned on Erykah Badu? Just saying some good old shit in my ear. I'm just like, oh, my God. My mama called me. She was like, you going to bed? I'm like, huh? I'm like, nah, like, I'm chilling. And she was like, you should go to bed. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. So then I got off the phone. He's still trying to talk that good shit, girl.
That was a sign.
Girl, it was. And then, like, I was like, you gotta go. He was all, I think he kissed my neck. I don't know. He was on me. He was on me. And then so then I was like, you gotta go. We walk into the door. He said something else slick as fuck at the door. I was like, I gotta go to bed. Girl, closed that door and it was salty. I was like, oh my God. I was so proud of myself. I was so proud of myself. So yes, like, watch out for them tricks, cause these niggas is slick.
See, I haven't had any. And that's what I'm like, Lord, you legitimately made this easy for me, because so the last situation with the dude, and the abortion and everything, like, yeah, I'm petty. I'm gonna say that. I'm a bit of a drama queen. And when I say all of that was used to just make me be just real ratchet, real drama, real just, over the top, messy. All of that, like, shut the door on that situation. So when I tell you, like, I was so emotional after that abortion and I had never been that emotional before during a pregnancy. I was so emotional. And like I said, I knew God was telling me, like, yeah, you need to put an end to this. You don't need to deal with him or ever speak with him again. And I just, like, basically did the most, when I say the most, to the point where, like, I went crazy, and yeah, I haven't heard from dude since. So at first I was kind of like, dang, and feeling some type of way, but now it's just like, no, that was a blessing, because you already know that wasn't gonna lead to where you wanted to lead. It wasn't like this dude, because he was in a whole nother situation, so it wasn't like, this dude would have, put a ring on it or anything. It's not like it would have led to marriage. You would have went from one dysfunctional relationship to another dysfunctional, toxic situation. So it's like, yeah, you good. Like, you're free. From all your past. And I think that's another good thing about being, I know that's another good thing about being in this season and being abstinent, because it's like, you're not bringing any of that baggage into your new relationship. Like, it's gonna be a whole new, brand new, fresh start. Like, no past pain, no past drama, like nothing lingering around or anything. Like, you can just judge this person in this relationship with just like a clear head and clear eyes. Like, you're completely open to just receiving and being able to, give of yourself wholly to this person. And that way, it's not, because if, so God brings this person and I bring my brokenness, I could run them away. And I think about that, like, or I'm trying to compare to, this past situation to what I'm going into and all of that stuff. And that right there can be just a shaky foundation that I'm already trying to build this whole brand new relationship on. Right. So I'm like, yes, like, that's the beauty in being in this season, because I get to just be like fresh, like, just open to something new and something just more, more than what I had before. And I'm better. I'm in a better mindset. I'm in a better place. Like my heart is healed. I'm healed. Like yes.
Just to be happy. If I'm gonna go through life, I want a genuine friend and a love it. Like ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
To give yourself without somebody, because at a certain point, that's how I felt. Like at a certain point, I didn't want to keep seeing somebody leave. That deep down kept hurting. I couldn't keep dealing with it. Well, oh my gosh. So is there any last words or anything that you want to put out there for the people, or just a message you want to just throw out there?
I would just say, you know, if you're thinking about being celibate or you're thinking about being in this season, to, you know, just don't think about the fact that, oh, I'm going to be single, because for some people that's hard. Like, it's hard for them to imagine themselves being by themselves and, you know, not being with somebody and not having sex with somebody. Like, if you know you're on a journey to being whole, and that's your purpose, and you want to genuinely love yourself and genuinely just find a good relationship, and not to continue dealing with in a dysfunctional cycle that you've been in or whatever. It can be done. It's possible. It's a beautiful thing. Don't get caught up on it just being by yourself portion of it, or the not having sex. Because honestly, I know some people who they were only in this season for maybe like a couple of months or a year, just because like God wanted to see, like, are you gonna put this down and receive what I have for you? And they were able to, you know, find their spouse and get married like within a matter of months. So I think it all depends on the work that you have to do, and if you're willing to just really do the work, and just to know that you don't need anybody. And I think that's what God wants us to understand, is that you don't need anybody. You really just need to be whole, and you really just need to allow Him to just love you, and that's it. And know that's the only real love that you need. And then, you know, He'll bless you with the person that you're supposed to be with. Like, just be encouraged, and just know that there are relationships that are positive. There are relationships that are, you know, not toxic relationship. You could be in a relationship where somebody is not constantly cheating on you, or somebody not constantly beating on you. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, you know, you don't have to deal with that, and you should know your worth and your value at the end of the day. So,
yes. Thank you, Jenna.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for just coming. I'm surprised you really came. I loved it. Like, I'm sorry if I'm awkward. Like I said, this is my first time doing this by myself, but you have me on camera. But other than that, no message. Like, it's gonna sit with me today. Cause like what you saying, like, I'm going through my own, like, trying to find myself within my independence and stuff like that. And I just want to say, like, you really left me with something. Like, you reminded myself to remember my value and my worth. Yeah. You definitely did. And I respect this. Like, I just love it. Like, I can't stop saying that. Like, I respect you for doing it, holding it down, girl. Yes, God sent her what she needs. My girl has been waiting too long. Not for the sex, but for that man. Shoot, you gonna meet him. He's coming.
Yes.
He is coming for real. Like, girl, guys, keep holding down. Not for these niggas. For right now, until you find that one.
I'm gonna say, forget these little boys.
Forget these little boys.
The little boys.
Fuck that. Cause
the little boys and men's bodies.
Yes, like, we ain't got time for that. We healing. And we figuring out what's going on with us internally. And that is exactly what you're going to attract. I feel it. You're going to find a man that knows exactly what he wants to tame that dog within him. And he just wants something that's going to make him full internally.
Yeah.
putting that in the atmosphere for you, girl.
Yes.
Well, we are out of here. Hopefully, we get another interview soon. Thank you.
Let's dive in.